It's been great for hanging out with us. It's a token of my appreciation when you leave here tonight. Take whatever the fuck you want. That's it. I'm not playing around. These are not keys in my pocket. Grab something on the way outside. No, we're almost done. Then you get to go back out into the hot, sticky summer night. Yeah, this summer, so I took one vacation this year. One vacation. Took my 12-year-old son to Boston, Massachusetts. My young man, Boston, where your dad is from. Took him to Boston. He's a baseball fan. Took him to Fenway Park to see the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees.
Yeah.
Now, if you're a baseball fan, even if you are not a baseball fan, there's no better way to introduce your child to human hatred than to go to that game. They fucking hate each other to death. The sports fans are loyal, right? You got a team, that is your team, right? You get one life, you get one team, that is your team. And your team could suck. And a sport fan is going to pay money to watch that team suck just for themselves. I wish I had comedy fans that loyal. Dedicated. You come back next time with your face painted, look like me. Who's your comedian? You're going to say J.P. Connolly. Someone says, is he funny? You go, well, not this year. Almost done, my man. Almost done. I'm glad that shit worked out. My social skills have been off. Like I did that one time. The man comes in for the fist bump, but I went in for the handshake. I physically caught his fist with my hand and wrapped my fingers around it. And then held it for an awkward second because I didn't know what the fuck to do with it. And I thought letting go prematurely would appear homophobic. And so to save the moment, I said, paper beats rock, better luck next time. So I have almost accepted the fact that my son has a stepdad now. I have almost accepted it. Yeah, I had hard. I'm not anti-stepdad. If you're a stepdad, that's a wonderful position. I just wasn't ready for the visual. I wasn't ready to see another man in my dad ecosystem. And it's hard for like a sporting event. My son had a basketball game. He showed up to the game with his mom and the stepdad. And they just looked like a happy little family. And I just looked like an uncomfortable man lurking near them. But I'm not an angry man. I'm not a petty man. I'm a big boy. I can handle my emotions. So to support my son, I showed up to the next game with a t-shirt that said, Parker's real dad. There you go. Yeah, no shit. Whoever said that, take 2 pieces of jewelry with you. It's hard being a comedian and a parent. There's two different parts of the brain. You got the comedy brain and you have the parent brain, and sometimes the comedy brain will leapfrog the parent brain and make a decision where clearly the parent brain should have been the one calling the shots at the time. Like my son lost a tooth as a very young child, and he came to me very upset. He goes, Dad, will the bleeding ever stop? And of course, as a parent, you're like, you're going to be fine. And the comedian he was thinking, you might want to get your affairs in order. Remember what happened to your brother? He was like, I had a brother. It was a great joke. He's 12, right? 12 years old. So far, did a good job, I think, raising my son. 12 years old, fine young man. I have never hit my son. 12 years old, and I have never laid a hand on my son. He asked me the other day, he goes, yeah, but would you ever hit me? Which is a legitimate question, and I think if you don't hit your kids, and they ask you that question, it's very important that you reassure your children that that option is always on the table. When I was a kid, getting hit was on the table, so was getting hit at the table. It could happen any time. I'm a child of the 1970s. In the 1970s, as kids, we had these looks on our faces that our parents just had to wipe off. And my son was... Take your time. It's been a long time. The old people going, he's not fucking around. It's true. But my son was livid that I would not just say that I would never hit him. He goes, how come you won't just say it? Why won't you say that you will never hit me? And I said, well, because there might be a scenario. He said, well, like what? I said, well, what if you lose your mind? What if you get hopped up on the drugs and you try to kill me? I might have to knock your ass out. He said, I cannot believe that you would knock me out. I said, well, I can't believe you're doing drugs trying to kill me. You didn't get that from your mother, don't you? You get that from your So my parents hit me, but guess what? I love my parents, right? I love my parents. My mom is 82 years old. She's still alive. What am I supposed to do? Mom, but I keep the option on the table. And you guys are a lot